Hey guys, what's up? It is Maddie, and this is my channel, Madziasims, where I make speed builds for you guys weekly. So, if you guys are new to my channel, welcome, and I'm so glad you are here. Definitely give me a subscribe if you like this content and want to see more, and definitely comment down below if you like this build and what you want to see in the future. So, as we get into this build, if you've never seen my channel before, I have started this Not So Berry build challenge where I am creating a house for each of the generations of the Not So Berry legacy challenge that little Simsy made. So, this is the third video in that series. I have already created a mint house, a rose house, and now this is the third house for the third generation, which is the yellow generation. And this one was probably one of the most fun ones to do. I really like the layout that this house has, and it's very different than a lot of my other builds. So it's been pretty fun to play around with and try some new layout ideas that I've been having for a while, but just decided to go full force in this build. So up here is 2 bedrooms, and it's going to be a master bedroom and then a kid's bedroom. And in the downstairs, I'm just creating a open concept living area. So I have a living room, a dining room, and a kitchen all downstairs, as well as the bathroom. And then in this build, I do something unique and I add a basement. So the basement is just kind of some extra space for an office and a kid's playroom that wasn't able to fit in any of the other areas. I also create 3 different porch areas so they can chill outside a lot. I feel like this specific lot has a really good view, and it's just surrounded by these lush trees and rocks, and it's just really pretty. So I wanted there to be a lot of outdoor space so they could enjoy this setting. So I created an upstairs balcony as well as a front porch and a back porch. But going inside, I'm just kind of making a layout and choosing some flooring and wall colors. And I really wanted there to be an accent wall right when you came in so that you knew it was the yellow house. And so I created kind of the same metal color as the roof is. So I kind of wanted to take the outside in and just connect them together. And then over there on the right will be the kitchen area. So I added some windows to that corner just so while they were kitchening, while they were cooking. Oh my gosh, guys, I cannot talk today. I swear. Like all these words, I've just been creating words. Like kitchening, what is kitchening? I meant to say cooking, so I don't know where that came from, but it's all right. And then over here in the kitchen, not the kitchening, I created this little peninsula that has like a rounded edge. And I really like the glass kind of shelving unit on the end so that you can see through and see the clutter in the cabinet. And I think it just looks really good. I do end up changing these cabinets to black though, so keep that in mind, but then I add some really cool accent tiling to the floor to make it more of like, instead of just all yellow cabinets, I wanted there to be yellow accents instead of like everything being yellow, so that is what I'm going ahead and doing right now, is just changing those out. Which I feel like it just looks a lot better in the end. You'll see how it comes together, obviously, but I really like how it looks, and I add a lot of different, like, yellow accents around the kitchen. So this is kind of like the little coffee bar corner, which is just so cute. I always use that cappuccino maker now. Or espresso maker. It's one of my favorite CCs that I found, and it's usable. I mean, they can make coffee out of it, so it works perfectly for when you're playing in The Sims as well. And then over here in the living room, I wanted there to be a really pretty gallery wall with a lot of yellow and orange-ish pictures to just go with the theme, but also just to be a really good focal point in the living room. And I feel like it just comes together beautifully. I love how all the pictures just go together, and it's just a really cool gallery wall. Alrighty, so next I'm moving on to the dining room area where I add a rug and a table and then some yellow chairs just to continue with the yellow theme. But I feel like it looks really good. And I love those chairs. I feel like they would be so comfy to sit in. I want one for my dining room when I have a dining room one day. I currently don't have one. Apartments don't have any room for dining rooms. So I'm just going around and adding some wall art and clutter, but I kind of focused in on this I call it like a hub for the home. So it's kind of just like the entryway area. It has a bulletin board, maybe for all the calendars in the family, maybe a grocery list, stuff like that. And then I added a table underneath for some storage where I added some clutter on top that was just on trend with the theme. This house has a 70s feel to it with all the colors, and some of the wall art is kind of 70s inspired, as well as I do add these really cool accent chairs in the living room that just give me full 70s vibes, like for sure straight out of the 70s. So I hope you guys like this theme and color scheme because it was such a fun one to work with. And then I'm just kind of finishing some up in the kitchen, and I'm moving on to the bathroom. So in the bathroom, I added that shower in the corner with a window up top for some natural lighting, but I feel like the shower just looks so pretty and clean and sleek. And then I wanted to add a washer and dryer, so I did include that as well. But I do end up making the bathroom a little bit smaller in the end just to give some more room in the living room. But I think it looks really good in here. There's just enough space to fit everything in. I even got to fit 2 sinks in here and a toilet, and it just all fits perfectly. These sinks are some of my favorite to use because they have really fun colors that you can choose from in the swatches, and I really love these circle hanging mirrors. I've never used them before, but I feel like they fit perfectly in this home. And they're honestly the perfect sized mirror, I feel like, for a bathroom. So moving on to the living room, I knew I wanted this really comfy couch. This couch is just huge and it looks so cozy to cuddle up in. So I wanted there to be a room on either side of the couch though, and with the current layout, I had to kind of shift some things around. So that's when I made the bathroom a little bit smaller, but it still fits everything perfectly so that there was room in the living room on either side of the couch. And then here are the fun chairs I add right here. They have tons of swatches included with them. Check out my Pinterest board. It'll be linked down below, but that includes all of the CCs that I download. I have a board just for those. So if you're interested in knowing what CCs I use, definitely check out my Pinterest account for those. And it's just Madziasims. All my social media is Madziasims to keep it simple. So my Twitch channel, my Instagram, my YouTube, and my Pinterest are all Madziasims. And then over here on the back wall, I wanted to add, of course, a TV and a console table underneath. And it just looks really good. I feel like it's a really cozy living room to cuddle up with your loved ones after a long day. And of course, as you know, we have to have a plant corner. It has to be included in pretty much all of my builds. So I go ahead and add a plant corner and a little speaker coming off of the wall as well. I feel like it just looks really sleek and really cool that it's kind of almost floating over there by the plants. So it looks pretty sick, as well as I needed some lighting in this corner. So I added one of those really cool lanterns and this really nice statue. So I'm just going to add some clutter to the console table here. I felt like these books looked good, and then some other clutter around the books looked really realistic, and I love that little kind of bowl area. Whoa. The bowl clutter, I've never used it before, I don't think, but I sized it down and it looked a lot better because the normal version of it is really big. So I just made it a little bit smaller so it would fit on the console table. And then over here in the kitchen, I wasn't quite done with the clutter, so I kind of jump around a lot in this build. So sorry for that, but I do finish it in its entirety. It's just I jump around a lot sometimes. But above these windows, I wanted to have kind of a cookbook area. So I created some shelves above the windows and just put books all across these shelves. I felt like one of the people in the house was a baker, potentially, so they wanted to have a lot of cookbooks and a space where they could bake some cakes. So I included a finished cake just to make it more realistic, and just some supplies that you would need for cake baking, like a bowl and a cookbook that's already out from up there. And then the lighting gave me such a hard time in this build. I'm not really sure why, but it took me forever to figure out which lighting would look the best so it wasn't too bright or too dark. But I end up choosing different lighting than what I'm using now. I tried these, but they just weren't working for me. So I keep them for a second, but I end up changing them to one of those like jar lighting thingies, and then this one over the table. As you can see right now, I'm changing it to the jar, but I feel like it just looks the best of all of them, and it gave the best warm lighting to the kitchen. Alrighty, and then over here, since the main person, the heir of the Yellow family, was a scientist, I wanted there to be a place for their trophies, maybe for some achievements that they accomplished as a scientist, so I added that. And then I'm moving outside to the front porch, where I just added a little seating area on the right side to just enjoy the view off the front porch. And then on the other side, I just wanted there to be a lot of lush plants. So around the entirety of the house, I wanted to add some mulching and some soil so that I could add some bushes and lavender just to make it more lush all the way around the house. I feel like the way it turned out looks really good, and I'm going to be doing this technique on all of my other builds just to make it a little more lush than it usually looks on my builds. And then back here, I added a back porch area like I mentioned earlier, and just filled in some of this empty space with bushes. And then did the same thing on the other side. I just wanted to keep it consistent and just figure it out all together. So I just really like the way it turns out. I think that compared to my other builds, oh my gosh, guys, my wording today is horrible. I cannot speak. I swear. It's so funny though, because I've done this voiceover probably 3 times, and I've just been laughing the whole time when it just doesn't work out because my wording is so bad today. So I apologize, guys. But let's continue. So this is just like the front porch area. I'm just adding some more clutter to it to make it look more realistic, as always. But I wanted to add a little side table, and I felt like this one was just so cute. And then I added some candles for some lighting and a little plant just because I love plants. And of course, can't forget the pillows. All right. And then I decided to stack 2 entryway mats together, and I found these 2, and they just looked so cool together. And then moving back here, I wanted to keep it consistent, so I changed the back porch area to be like all the other ones. But then up here, I needed some shade, so I added these 2 awnings and just kind of put them together, but it looks super cool, and they fit perfectly for this area. So I thought that was honestly the perfect solution for shade on this upper balcony. And then I added kind of just like the same thing as the front porch, but it was just a really comfy looking couch, Adirondack chair thingy with a nice rug, just so anyone out there would feel very warm and cozy. And then I do end up changing these chairs on this side to be really cozy chairs lower to the ground. I used them in my honeymoon build, and they're some of my favorite chairs right now to use. I just love how comfy they look to sit in. All right, so it looks like I'm just finishing up this porch area, and then I'll move on to the back porch. So I wasn't really sure what door to put in because this area was kind of, I don't know, it was kind of closed off. It was kind of tight to even fit a door in. So I redid this area to make it a little bit bigger and easier to get from place to place. And then over here, I had some other space, so I added a pantry in here, and then the cozy coffee corner was just tucked away perfectly. So I'm just changing some wall art and clutter to be a little bit different, but I love the way this turns out with the additions I added, and then I just changed the planter to look a little different. But I thought the sliding door was perfect. It fit perfectly, and it looks good because you can see all the way through the house, through those windows. And then in the bathroom, just adding a little more clutter as well. Out here, though, I wanted to have a garden space and a hot tub, but I wasn't sure how to fit it all in, so I decided to put the hot tub somewhere else and include a dining table where it used to be, just to give some more diversity of space, because I feel like if I just was to put another sitting area, there's already a lot of sitting areas outside for the top balcony and the front porch, so I decided to add a dining table out there instead. But as you can see, the hot tub is really close to the house, and all you have to do is just walk down off of the porch a few steps and you are there, which just works perfectly. And then over here, I wanted to add some trees and some bushes around the trees just to make it more lush, but I wanted to keep the front yard basically empty so that they had some space to play and run around. Like I was saying, out here I add a dining table and a rug, so I just wanted to make it look really nice and comfy, and you could have a really good meal out there with your family. And then I added a trash can, of course, because you always need a trash can to empty your trash into, but I just kind of snuck that in over there by the bushes. And I feel like this wall art just looked really good, especially with the yellow and orange accents, but it also has some other colors which I felt looked really good outside. And then I add some clutter on the table. I wasn't sure what I wanted to go with at first, and I thought I would include this grilling area, but I end up changing it to a garden area completely over there just because I feel like having a garden space in your home just adds some extra income, and so I wanted there to be a designated space for gardening. And over here, I'm just putting some napkins in this kind of basket, and I feel like it was very realistic. They could just grab the basket, put it outside, and have all their utensils and napkins and maybe some salt and pepper in there as well. And then over here, like I was saying, I added a garden area. So I have 3 planters on the side of the house and then one big one so that they have a lot of space to be able to plant. And then moving inside, I wanted to add some clutter around the fireplace that looked more realistic. So I added the fire set that goes with fireplaces. And then I really tried to find like something else for the back porch area, but I felt like it was just done and I needed to move on to the upstairs. So upstairs there's going to be 2 bedrooms, a kid's room, and a master bedroom. And I wasn't sure what colors. It took me a long time to figure out the colors for these rooms, but I really love the ones that I ended up choosing. As well as this hallway area is going to include this really pretty piano that I just love with some really pretty clutter on top that just matches the rest of the house. And I love this rug underneath as well and the pop of orange and yellow that it includes. And then over here, I added some plants just to fill in this corner. But moving on, I'm going to be doing the master bedroom first. So I'm kind of just figuring out the layout for the windows because I'm not really sure where I want to put the bed at this point. But I think for the master, I put it in this cozy corner. I just love how it's tucked away and you have like your own little designated bed area. It fits perfectly and it looks really cool. So I hope you guys really enjoy this bedroom because I like the layout. I think and I'm going to use it in some other houses for sure. So I put the bed over there, and then don't worry, I do not keep this bright yellow, guys. I thought this would look good in the beginning, and then I just was like, nope, it's not happening. Like, it was just way too bright. So don't worry, I do change it. None of the beds were working for this wall color, so I change it to this like crown molding, which I think looks so good. And then I add these two lights over here with some nightstands. On this side, I added a dresser and a mirror and a plant just to have like a little dressing area, and then I wanted there to be a desk as well because a lot of times Sims need to work on stuff on their computer and they need a designated space to do that. So I wanted to include a really cozy desk that matched the theme of the room with a lamp on it and some other clutter. And then in this area, I wanted to create a bookshelf. But I really like the way this bedroom is turning out, and I love the layout of it and just how much I could fit in this room for how small it was. So I add some stuff to the walls, and I'm just cluttering up this bedroom before moving on to the kids' room. So for the kids' room, I really wasn't sure what I wanted to do. I thought about a bunk bed possibly, but I couldn't really figure out a good wall color until I found this one. It was just a muted yellow and it looked really pretty. And the good thing about this room is it's very gender neutral. Being yellow, you can really have a boy or a girl live in this room and they would love the color. And I really like this kind of work area that I included for them with a little desk and a bookshelf. It just gives them their own sense of independence. Like they have their own work area just like their parent does. And then I'm just kind of cluttering up the walls, but I think it looks really good and it includes a lot of yellow in this room, but I love how it ends up turning out. And now for the last part of the house, the basement. And I've never done a basement before, so I really enjoyed making this, but I wanted there to be kind of a closed-in area around the stairwell, so I changed that to all brick, which I thought looked really, really cool. And then I wanted there to be a workspace for the parent as well as a place for the kids to play. So I added this little fort tent thingy in the corner for the kids to play in. And then I do also add a really fun tennis or ping pong table, which you'll see in a second. But it's just kind of like a family area where they can come and play and hang out. Or if the parents need to get work done and want their kids to stay busy, they have a multi-purpose area for them to use. And then I'm just adding some wall art. I really like adding guitars to a build just to give them something to do. And so I'm just kind of cluttering up this family area, and I add this really cool wall feature that I'm definitely going to do in another basement. I think it looks super sick. Alrighty guys, that is the end of this build. As you can see, it's very yellow. There's a lot of yellow in this house, but I just love how it turns out, and I hope you guys do as well. If you like this video, give it a like and subscribe to my channel. Also follow me on Twitch, Instagram, Pinterest, at Madziasims to keep updated on my next videos. I will see you guys soon, but I hope you guys have a great day. See ya, everybody.